Hello everybody, it's Diana again, and today I just wanted to talk a little bit about some makeup brands that I've always wanted to try. Of course, there are many more makeup brands than what I'm going to list that I have been interested in and intrigued by. Most of these are either what I would consider a little bit higher than my everyday normal price range in makeup, is why I put them on this list, or because it's something that typically is online only. And as you know, I'm not a really big online shopper. Um I don't really trust, credit card purchases online. I know that's kind of crazy. I also live in a neighborhood where packages get stolen. I am not 100% sure that a package one time got stolen off my property, but I would rather also, especially with makeup, be able to go into some kind of store, even if it was really far away and I could only go once in a blue moon, and just see products, touch them, feel them, look at them in person, because a lot of times pictures and even other people's opinions, whoever it is, does not are not always great representations of the brand or the actual makeup. So today let's talk about some of these brands I'm interested in. And I'd also like to hear about what you guys are interested in the comments below, if some of these are also ones that you've thought of. So the first one I have is Makeup Monsters, and I only heard of them really recently. I think up until recently, and I could be wrong, that they've mostly just done like highlighters, maybe single eyeshadows, and a lot of lip stuff. Now, most of the time I hear people talking about their lip stuff, and I think their website's super cute. I like the name Makeup Monsters. I like their packaging. I think this is so cute. The thing I'm most interested in is their Dragon Child eyeshadow palette. It's on pre-order. It is $42, as you can see. I am definitely interested in that. I don't know if I'll get it, but I do like kind of to me, it is a colorful eyeshadow palette, but it's like deeper, richer colors, and I love all the greens. I love the purples. It's a nice mix. So for me, I think that that would be really interesting. And if I did get that, I'd probably get one of the liquid lipsticks. I really love the G.I. Jane, this green one. $16 for a lipstick isn't that bad, I think. I probably wouldn't buy more than one or two. They have quite a few different matte ones. They've got other things as well. It looks like they sell hair dye, pins. I don't know. They're just the first one that I was kind of interested in, and I just heard about recently, actually through YouTube. So, Makeup Monsters is something that I'd really like to try. Another one I've had my eye on for a long time is Black Moon Cosmetics, before they ever released their eyeshadow palette. Their website's amazing. I love that they're like very inclusive with their marketing. I think that's great. And really, they've just had eyelashes and like lipsticks pretty much recently, as far as I know. And now they've recently done these Moonlighter highlighters and the Orb of Light eyeshadow palette. I wasn't super impressed with the eyeshadow palette, but I love their range of lipsticks. So I would love to try one or two of their lipsticks. I would definitely try the eyeshadow palette. I think for $48, it's a little pricey. But the few people that I watch on YouTube that have tried it have really enjoyed it. So, maybe if it went on sale or I had a little extra money for some reason, I would be considering ordering that. And same with like the Makeup Monsters. Again, I'm not really big into online ordering, so for me, it's kind of whatever. I mean, look at this. This is just beautiful. Look at these eye looks. Could someone come and do my makeup like that? Look at this. They didn't blend this. They didn't blend that a whole lot, and it looks fantastic. You don't have to blend your eyeshadow out. You can. So yeah, for me, I love their marketing. I love their brand. The look of their brand, it's really up my alley. So I would definitely try that, hopefully, in the future. Another one I've never tried but have been intrigued by, especially when I watch other YouTubers use it, is Sugarpill. Mostly I'm interested in their eyeshadows more than anything. I thought the little twin stars was really cute. I liked the lipsticks. I thought the palette was not really, I'm not super into pastels. And, I'm not really into like the loose glitters, nail polish. I'm not even really into their lipstick. I'm really into their eyeshadows. I think it'd be really fun to like make a palette, but it becomes very expensive. I mean, $20 just for the palette with nothing in it, and then another $12 for each eyeshadow. So that's going to be like $150 or something just for all your eyeshadows. Um, and they do have some really fun colors. They have a lot of pastels. You know, I find them really, really interesting. Some of these colors are not speaking to me. You know, they kind of go in and out of different colors. But I have had my eye on them in the past. A more controversial one, I think, for many people is Jeffree Star Cosmetics. Now, I've always found him to be really intriguing, even when I used to watch, like, Kat Von D, you know, doing all those tattoo shows or whatever, and he would come on and she'd tattoo him. I thought he was interesting then. I still think he's interesting now. Sure, he's a little vain. Sure, he's got a big mouth, but he's super interesting and fun to watch. And, you know, as a person, I think he could be really fun to hang out with. You never know. And I know a lot of people like vegan and cruelty free, which his products are. Again, I would probably try his lipsticks. I'm not really into getting like the fashion and accessories. The skin frosts are so huge that I'm not really interested. I think if he came out with like some mini skin frosts in a set, I would totally be down with that. I would probably get like a whole set like how he's doing with the mini lipsticks. I'm really interested in, you know, his lip scrubs, not the lip ammunition. I'm kind of more into liquid lipstick these days. Kind of otherwise get lipstick like all over my teeth and sometimes even with liquid lipstick. But I'm definitely interested in his eyeshadow palettes. The blood sugar one was really pretty. It's just a lot of pink and reds, and I don't find those look super great on me. But like the Beauty Killer and Androgyny palette, for me, they look really nice. Yeah, $45. Again, all of these are kind of priced. All these brands, well, not all the brands I'm talking about, but these first four are definitely priced similarly. I think the color story on these is really interesting. I think they'd be really fun to try. I just haven't ever tried, you know, bought any. And if I ever found like a pop-up shop he did or was in LA and go check it out at the Morphe store or something, I think I would probably pick something up. Marc Jacobs is so high priced that I probably will never try it unless I get like a sample or something. But I've heard such good things about it that it really intrigues me. Especially the Coconut Fantasy collection that came back. Not necessarily the eyeshadow, but I really think like everyone talks about the Omega bronzer and how it's like so wonderful, and I'm horrible at bronzing. It's huge. It would probably last me my entire life, but I am interested in that. But for $49 for a bronzer when it's hard for me to spend $45 on an eyeshadow palette, I probably will never buy it. Some of his foundations intrigue me. I've heard a lot of good things about his mascaras before. He's just a brand that, and some of the eyeshadow palettes do have colors that I would be interested in. The sleek packaging, the design. I like, you know, too, that he also includes images of, you know, multicultural people. A lot of these brands don't really include men in their imaging. They need to work on that, but that's okay. I have not heard good things about the Shameless Foundation, so that specific one I would not be interested in. But you never know. Again, if something went on sale, I would probably consider it. Another one I'm really interested in is Pat McGrath Labs. Her stuff, I love the color schemes. Like this one in the Mothership, Subversive. So it is $55 for 6 eyeshadows. Granted, you're paying a lot of these companies, not so much the indie brands, a little bit with Jeffree Star, not even though. But like Pat McGrath, Marc Jacobs, some of these other, like I think the next couple I'm going to show you, you're paying for their name, which is fine. Like they've earned it. And I'm really mostly just interested in her eyeshadow palettes. I would love to try one of the big Mothership palettes as opposed to the little one. Like this one really intrigues me down here. And I bet they're really good quality. I've heard good things about them, but they're just out of my price range. The one nice thing is you can kind of find the smaller ones in Sephora stores. I I haven't seen them in the JCPenney ones, but just the regular Sephora's. So I've looked at them, still interested, still a little bit out of my price range. This one looks like you can get all 3 palettes for $300. Wow. I don't have $300 to blow on eyeshadow palettes. I wish. That would be so great. But I do not. Again, I'm not interested in like the apparel, kits, all that stuff. I would probably just want to buy like one eyeshadow palette just to try it out eventually. A little bit out of my price range. Another one that's out of my price range, and this is one of the most boring websites I've ever seen, is the Natasha Denona makeup. I am not interested in the teeny minis. Maybe one day they go on sale or something. I would probably do it. The Tropic palette is probably the one that spoke the most to me, or I'd really like the green brown, mostly because I'm really interested in all the greens. I'm like so into green, so into green. I don't wear a whole lot of green on my eyes. I do have some gold and blue and kind of mixed them to make a green. But yeah, so for me, her stuff is just really intriguing. It's just really incredibly out of my price range. $239. Even this one I think is like $120 or something. So maybe one day, but not anytime soon. But I am interested in trying it. I'm not really interested in her face palettes at all. Top coats. Just the straight palettes. And again, I would maybe consider a mini palette. I mean, they are really mini. So yeah, you're getting the Natasha Denona, you're just getting really small eyeshadows, and they're kind of expensive still. Maybe. I'd consider it. Huda Beauty is also a brand that I haven't really tried anything from. I would really be excited to try something. I think her bronze palettes look awesome. I think these little minis I've considered picking up before. The newest one, Coral Obsessions, I think is really pretty. I'm really intrigued about the electric palette. And then, you know, maybe the Mauve Obsessions, the Gemstone. Actually, I saw Pop Lux do a review, and he really liked the Gemstone one. I would consider it. And the mini palettes are not that bad. I mean, $27 for 9 little eyeshadows is okay. I don't know if I'm super interested in her lips. Mostly the eyeshadow stuff. I do have a pair of lashes I got. I've never tried them yet. I'll probably try them one day. She tries to be inclusive. Hooda is very beautiful. I think this one is Hooda. I have no idea. There's Hooda. There you go. I'm a little bit irked, and I think a lot of the internet is irked with her Rose Gold palette remastered. But I thought the Desert Dust palette looked really pretty as well. Maybe one day. We'll see. I don't know. Probably get one of those minis if I ever try it. That one you can get at Sephora. I just feel like they're a little expensive. Another brand I'd really like to try is Zoeva. Jean McLean on YouTube talks about Zoeva a lot. I've heard other people talk about their brushes. I've never tried anything. I would try whatever. I would try a brush. I would try eyeshadow, face palette. I'm probably not going to get this super brush set. But some of these colors are really, 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 really pretty. And I've heard the quality is there. It's just a brand that, again, I'd have to buy online, and I'm not too excited about that. But probably one day I'll try it. Another one, Makeup Geek. You know, I think people were really into Makeup Geek not that long ago. Nowadays, they're kind of over it. They just did come out with all these, like, really pop-and press pigments, and I think some people have been really excited about it. I'm excited that they're coming to Target so I can finally try them. I hope the Target ones are like the same quality as the ones on the website. They're pretty reasonably priced for the most part. I like the create your own palette idea. Maybe they'll have that at Target. I think that stuff comes this week. I'm not sure. I just want to try something because I've heard really good stuff about it, and I know they used to be really big, and I'm hoping that they were big for a reason, so I'd like to find out. The last one I'm going to talk about today is Davina Cosmetics. Mostly Angelica Nyqvist that I watch on YouTube talks about Davina. I think that they are really interesting. They have some really fun colors. They came out with the Harmony collection. They were first to kind of dupe that Icy Betch palette that Tarte put out on April Fool's. And I really think this looks beautiful. I think I would have liked a couple more greens and maybe 2 less blues. That's just me. But she always has, it seems like Davina has a lot of good sales. She has some amazing colors, all different finishes. Every time I've seen Angelica use them, they look cool. I probably wouldn't try the brushes or anything. I think when you get, from what Angelica has said on her show on YouTube, whenever you get one of these little like palettes that they put together, they send it to you in a palette, so you're not just getting all the single eyeshadows. But you are getting a better deal that way if you do like those colors. And I am tempted to get this. I want to say it's like $65. And I'm not going to click on it. Well, maybe I will. Let's click on it. $64. So normally if you bought them all separately, it's $84. I mean, I do think they're just some really fun colors. And there's a lot, you know, matte, shimmers. You could do a lot with that. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. Oh. Anyways. I would definitely like to try Davina one day. This is definitely by no means, you know, the end-all be-all of all the brands I'd like to try. There's not enough time in the day or money in the world currently for me to try all these things that I want to try. But eventually I will get 1 or 2 things from every brand, just not every brand, but from the brands that interest me the most. Maybe not the ones that are really expensive, but stuff like Davina, Makeup Geek, Makeup Monsters, possibly Sugarpill, Jeffree Star, Black Moon Cosmetics, maybe even Hooda Beauty, is something that I could afford, just not all at once. So I just have to really pick and choose. And I do feel like at this point I have a pretty extensive cosmetics collection. So the one nice thing with some of these brands, not all of them, but like with Davina or Sugarpill, is you can kind of pick a couple colors that you're missing in your collection that you're really excited about and maybe just get those. Like, you don't have to buy a whole palette. You can, you don't have to. And I think that's kind of fun and it's interesting. It's interesting to see what independent brands come up with. It's interesting to see what big brands come up with. You know, they're supposed to technically be the leaders and sometimes they lag behind. But that's okay, you know, and hopefully they take our cues, and some of them watch YouTube, which I'm sure that they do, or their marketing people do, or what have you, and get some tips and tricks on what people really are into, or at least kind of warm up to those ideas. So yeah, again, this is not like a full list of everything I'm interested in or will be interested in, and it may change, and some I may never be able to get because they're too expensive. But I hope that you guys like the video. Please comment below. Tell me what you're interested in. If one of these that you guys are like so into and you are wondering about too, like if I can afford it, I will be happy to buy it and we can talk about it on the show, the channel, whatever. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. Please comment and subscribe and have a wonderful day.